Are you going to catch up? Are you? You're a little behind. Okay, I see. Well, we're heading. I'm walking right down to the Art Monarch studio right now. You better hurry up. We're almost about to get into this sketchbook flip through. Oh, okay. I'll call you later. You got some other stuff to do. All right. Well, hello. It's the Art Monarch. I'm here and I'm flipping through my book of sketches, also known as a sketchbook. I guess that's what people call it. Here we have a compiled full book of drawings. This is the cyberpunk sketchbook, which means there are a few different sci-fi, robotic, futuristic designs in here, but there is also just a lot of abstract randomness and unfinished pages. It's about 85-90% complete. A few faces, some spaceships, but mainly abstract doodles. Now, this is a Moleskine notebook. It's not a sketchbook, but that's what I'm using it as. I have a new Moleskine sketchbook that I got about a week ago, and I haven't started it yet because I'm not sure what the style should be. But I guess I'll figure all of that out when I actually unpackage the sketchbook later on. I do want it to be complete, every page to be finished, and the entire sketchbook to look good. This sketchbook here is okay. There's some ideas, there's a few different things I like, but it's just something that I don't really, it's not that great of a sketchbook. But not every sketchbook is supposed to be good, perfect, unless you want it to be, which I do. I want it to be perfect, but it's not easy. I think my issue is that I'm very rushed when I'm doing these sketchbooks, and so I'm doing half of a drawing and then I go to the next page, and then if I don't like it, then I'll go to the next, and then so there's just a lot of unfinished things. And it's almost impossible for me to make a perfect sketchbook because I have half of a drawing. It's sort of like a chain. It's like a broken, what's the saying? Broken chain in your armor. You have a weak link in your chain, and that's what the sketchbook is. You have half of a drawing, and it deteriorates the rest of the sketchbook. Each page you flip by, you're like, okay, this is good, but then the next one is just unfinished. So I need to work on that in the next sketchbook. Every page is going to be finished. So what I should really be doing is using some loose pieces of paper, printer paper, and just drawing on that until I get a full idea, an image in my head of the full drawing. Then we can go into the sketchbook, create a full scaled image. So the loose paper, we just throw it to the side, okay? We make a drawing. If I don't like it, just throw it out the window. We throw it out the window and it's gone. We don't have to look at it anymore. But if the sketchbook, I have to go back and flip through this and look at all of it, and it's just like, not really, I don't like the unfinished drawings. Of course, I could go back and draw them, but do I really have the motivation? Do I really have the inspiration or will to go back and finish these drawings? I don't really think so, I'll be honest. So we figured out the solution, which is just to use printer paper. And that's what I've been doing recently in the past week, is using some Southworth resume paper. So I do believe we really have it figured out now. I know this is a simple thing. A lot of artists use loose pieces of paper, but it really changes the game. It switches it up, and sometimes it's the small things. All it takes is one little change, and your drawings could be better or worse. So it allows me more freedom. The sketchbook is a prison, okay? I'm trapped in it, and I'm trying to make perfect drawings. And if I don't, you're stuck. So it feels like a prison. You're supposed to be free when you're drawing, but it's not always the case. Loose pieces of paper, that is freedom. That is the new route we need to travel down. And I'm feeling pretty excited about it. The only issue, of course, is that it's not all in a sketchbook. It's loose pieces of paper that are all just piled up. But I don't really care, it's whatever. I've filled enough sketchbooks to have a pile. Honestly, how have I not thought about this? This is the groundbreaking idea of the year. Loose pieces of paper. It allows complete freedom. And I'm not one for sketching in the first place. I don't use pencil, and I never have. It's not really something that interests me. I feel like in 40 or 50 years from now, I'm not going to be using a pencil either. I might as well just start using the ink and putting it down now. I've never really felt the need to sketch beforehand because it feels like, number one, you're connecting the dots. It lacks the freedom and creativity. It's like you're boxed in and you can only do a certain thing. Of course you can add on to the sketch and erase it or whatever, but it's like I just don't really like using pencil. I tried it and I like using them separately, but that's kind of that's how I feel about that. And also, I just really want to get used to using ink because I know in 30 or 40 years from now, I'm not going to be using pencil, and I have a pretty good image and idea of what I'm drawing in my mind. I can imagine pretty well. In the last year or two, my photographic memory has improved, and I'm really able to picture things and imagine them. Of course, I make a lot of abstract drawings which don't need to be sketched out beforehand. It's a little unorthodox, but that's just how I like to draw. Now that I think about it, it really doesn't make sense to sketch before making an abstract drawing. That's kind of the point. It's supposed to be abstract. There's mistakes here and there, and for the most part, you can't even tell that there are mistakes because there's so much detail and there's shapes going in this way and that way. And you can go back and fill it in. There's ways to fix the mistakes that most people won't even notice. But if you're drawing normally, you should sketch. I think if you're an artist, you should sketch before you draw, but it's really up to each person. Every artist decides what they want to do for themselves. And here's the thing about me. I'm not a normal artist. I mean, the abstract drawings there's not a lot of people doing that kind of thing. And there's a lot of artists are just outsiders, but I'm like an outsider of all of that. I'm a hermit that goes into the middle of the forest and does whatever he wants, hunts, and survives completely alone. That's the kind of artist I am. A lot of artists kind of group up and study each other's styles and that kind of thing. Of course, there are a few artists that I've taken inspiration from over the years, but now I'm just kind of on my own. I feel like I'm not really interested in other people's art anymore. I'm just interested in what I'm doing. And so it's leading me into a different style. I want to find a unique way of drawing that no one's ever seen. Is it possible anymore? I'm not sure. I mean, it feels like everything's been done. You look 100 years ago and the stuff that was being painted, and the ideas were insane. And now with artificial intelligence, it feels like everything can be created, and it may have. But you can reinvent, you can take ideas from the past and the future, put them together in a unique, new way. For me personally, sketching just feels like a waste of time. Why would I go through filling an entire page with pencil when I could just start with the ink? Of course, it's easier said than done, but I just like the idea of getting a pen and then just drawing, right? Having a pencil, it's like a handicap. Okay, I want to go in and put the ink down. Could I improve my drawings with pencil and sketching beforehand? Most likely. But do I want to do that? No. What I would rather focus on is training my mental faculties. It's learning how to have a better photographic memory, remembering all of these shapes in my head, these patterns, and then I can save them for later, like a computer or whatever. That's the basis of my philosophy. It's not for everyone, definitely not for if you want to be like an actual good artist. Look, I'm not like that great of an artist, I'll be honest. I just like drawing lines, and sometimes it looks okay.